I think at the moment the biggest problem the industry is facing is the conflict of interest between the landlord and tenants, specifically the leasehold requirement that's currently in the marketplace causes a big conflict between the landlord and the tenant. The landlord wants the highest value from his property, and quite rightly so, and therefore the highest leasehold. And the tenant wants the cheapest form of its PPA. The problem is you sort of have to marry up somehow the two and meet in the middle, and then neither party wins. So therefore I'd say probably the leasehold actually as a result is the biggest hindrance to the UK marketplace. I think the main opportunity for the UK solar industry is actually something that is a unique product to SunEdison that we've actually created to overcome the problem I was just explaining. What we've done is actually we've not only overcome the leasehold by having a very straightforward 25-page PPA that has no lease, there's no registered interest in the property whatsoever, and it's not even a license. Makes it very, very easy to implement. What we've been able to incorporate into this PPA that gives customers cheaper energy for 20 years and allows us to install on their roof with no capital outlay. We can also now incorporate other things into that and give them a whole sort of a more holistic approach to not only their energy needs but also their energy usage. So we can now incorporate things like LED lighting and potentially even a brand new roof into our PPA. So instead of the PPA being 5p on a 250 kilowatt system, we can incorporate LED lighting and it could be 6.5p. So a minor increase in their PPA price, still giving them savings from grid, but incorporating LED lighting and solar with no lease and no charge in the land whatsoever. I'd say the other two main constraints around the rooftop marketplace, apart from the leasehold, you've got two elements. One is the planning constraints, and those have been eased a little bit this year by making anything under a megawatt permitted development, but you still need a certificate of lawfulness to implement this. That takes sort of 4 to 8 weeks to get a response. So yes, it's been eased up, but it's still a timely process. The second one is the grid. The grid is the biggest hindrance that we're finding in terms of both time, because they can take up to 90 days to get back to you with a response. But also, when you look at the grid, they often try and price you out of it and actually make us pay for any deemed upgrades to the grid. I think solar in the UK is a very movable marketplace. It's very live. Sort of every 3 months the goalposts are changed, and you have to be very quick on your feet. I think that the biggest thing for me in recent years has been how fast we're coming down to look to meet grid parity in sort of 2020, 2018. And I think it's possible with the way that the technology is going. One of the most surprising things was potentially the education that needed to occur with the pension funds, the large landlords, the big landowners, but also the big retailers around environmental EPC legislation that's coming in force in 2018, around renewables as a whole. Has been quite a slow education process to get them round and get them on board. One of the things I'm looking forward to most about the large-scale conference is hearing other industry experts, what they have to say about current government legislation, where they envisage the market's going to go. I think energy storage is definitely something that's going to be on our doorstep fairly imminently. In the next couple of years, it's going to be financeable and give good enough returns to incorporate into solar. I think that's one of my favourite parts that I'm looking forward to about the event.